Oh, well, first, thank you again for the space. And I'm so grateful to have heard the video with Vince in the arthritis. That was so helpful. I have a small cleaning business and I have a little bit of, I guess, arthritis, and I don't like it. And I am always, trying to figure out how to make it go away and all that. And so two things with that video, arthritis being stuck. And I noticed that when I have things coming up and the body has kriyas, these spontaneous motions, it happens a lot in both hands. They just are doing this thing. So I find that really fascinating. And now when I have pain, it's almost like, hi, it's loving. It's not like, oh, fix this, something bad. It's like, oh, something wants to be expressed, something's speaking. And so there's a kindness now. So
Yes.
that was really helpful. Thank you.
Love
Lovely.
that. Love that so
That's
much.
awesome.
Yeah.
So I had a couple of things. I did a day-long Buddhist retreat on Saturday, and a large part of it was really clear and expansive. But on the way home, I turned into a lunatic because I think we were not really well fed for lunch, and it was a 2-hour trip home, and suddenly I was just really agitated and cold and needed food, and we were out in the country, there's just no food except McDonald's, and I didn't want McDonald's, and I'm like, in the passenger seat with this tantrum and not liking it. And suddenly it occurred to me, oh, can you be in a body that is hungry and needs food? And I'm like, no, I can't be in a body that's hungry and needs food. And so then I said, oh, can you be in a body that doesn't like being hungry in a situation? And it's like, yeah, I can do that. That I can do. And then all of a sudden the agitation monster just, like, I don't know, went somewhere else, and I was looking at clouds and things. And so that was really cool. So I was grateful for that.
Amazing. Congratulations. Congratulations for that.
Good.
I'm glad the memory came of it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so now the disappointing thing. Last weekend, actually, it began the week prior with all this drama, grievance stuff with a friend of mine, and it was so hard. It brought up a lot of anger and defense and all this craziness, and I actually constructed an email and sent it to Todd, which was helpful. But the drama, it was just going on and on. And I had to go to a band practice, and this person, Neva, my friend, was going to be at this practice, and I didn't see how that could possibly happen because I couldn't stand the thought of being in her presence. And so a bunch of thoughts were coming up. Well, I don't have to go to this. I don't have to sing for this church group. I can just not show up. And it's just a bunch of thoughts. And there was an awareness that, okay, what you really need to do is sit down and feel your shit. And somehow, like, that never happened. And I knew that I had to do it. I knew that I had to do it, but it was, I don't know, I guess so. I don't think I could do it. I remember, we went out for ice cream instead, and I got 2 scoops instead of 1. God damn it, I'm having 2 scoops. So, like, there's all this distraction stuff going on, and I'm not feeling my shit. So Monday comes along, and I don't want to operate from obligation. So I didn't. And yet I still had the feeling to go to this group. So it's like, okay, well, I'm going to show up and we'll see what happens next. So Neva comes in, and in the beginning, I couldn't even meet her eyes. I couldn't even look at her. And the other musician who knew that there was something going on, he says, well, does anybody want to talk about the elephant in the room? And Neva says, no. So, and then we just started playing the music. And what's really funny about this whole thing is apparently it was our theme music, because it had to do with stepping into the flow and letting it go. We open our heart, I don't know, all this stuff. And we're just like not talking about all the drama, not feeling the drama, but simply like it was a musical and we dropped everything. And so somewhere along the line, were embracing one another, and it was amazing. So looking back, you know, there's a sense of why can't I just sit and feel my shit? Like, why can't I just do that? And yet, I did become really aware of like some beliefs. So I got a lot of judgment and a lot of thinking that I know. So if Neva is overweight, I know that, well, she should be eating this and she should be doing this. And if she has a messy condo, I can help clean, but she should, all this should stuff. Yeah. And I tend to try to help when I can, but sometimes that's like turns into resentment somehow. And I see the setup of this game. Like, I think I do a lot of people pleasing to make myself indispensable so that I'm needed. So I haven't like felt the shit, but I see a lot of these operative beliefs, and it's really humbling actually, because yeah, I don't know shit.
Do you see the similarity with you sitting in the car and being hungry and not want to be in a body that's hungry, but then you allow yourself to accept that you cannot be in a body that is hungry? Can you be in a body where you cannot be in a body? You know, can you accept the things are as they are? Do you see the similarities between that and then coming to the orchestra? Not talking about it. I don't want to talk about it. So, okay, can you be with that? You don't want to talk about it. And that gave you the same acceptance, the same space.
Yeah, it's like this little willingness, just this little willingness, like opens this great space.
But when you're doing that, Janine, you're not judging. You're allowing what is. You're not judging her. You're not judging you. You're allowing what is. You're not judging the hunger. You're not judging McDonald's. You're not judging the orchestra, anything. Everything is allowed to be as it is. Can you butt out of it and just allow it to be as it is? Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Yeah, I can. And that is the same. That is the copy paste that you're doing at the moment. That is where the focus is. And with that, you're building your boundaries, because you telling another person what body they should have or how clean their condo should be, that is you crossing boundaries. You know, that's super, super disrespectful, which means that you have a hint of disrespect towards yourself and your own boundaries. But what you're doing right now is helping reinforce your boundaries by allowing things to be as they are, not butting in and wanting things to be different, but just allowing what is. And it is anyway. It's not like you're, doing something huge. You're just butting out, you know?
Sometimes it feels huge.
Yeah.
This is a very vocal nuisance part. I still there's a should in my own should, feeling like, well, why couldn't I just sit and be with this avalanche of discomfort? It was horrible. It was a devastating weekend. It was horrible, and I couldn't. It was so in the story.
But do you see that the horribleness was only there because you wanted something else than what was? I would like it to be nighttime right now, and then is going on in me because it's daytime. You know, the only horribleness that is going on is all the suffering I'm inflicting on things not being the way I want them to be. Instead of just looking at what is, this is how it is. We're not doing anything but just looking at what is, accepting what is, realizing that whatever parallel story we have about things could being in a different way, it can't, because it's not. It can't be nighttime right now because it's not. You can't be full on the way home because you're not. Your frenemy cannot be different because she's not. Your relationship can't be different because it's not. So what you're doing is just really looking at what is and butting out of it, not interfering and mixing the water with your opinions about how things should be different, you know? Do you know the book, The Little Prince?
I think, we might have read it in high school, Le Petit
Yeah.
Prince.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. One of the planets he come to, it's a planet where there's a king, and the king, he says that he rules everything. He decides everything. So he looks at the clock and goes like, I decide that it's 12 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock. I decide it's daytime. It's daytime. I decide that the sun will set in half an hour. He says half an hour before the sun sets. So he believes himself to be king because he's just absolutely deciding on everything that is as it is. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.